Hola, ladies and gentlemen. It's me, Romie. I'm back, and I'm here to do the review for the what is this? Real Housewives of Atlanta, season 6. No, sorry, season 8, episode 7, and it's actually titled Miami Spice. But that's not the title we're gonna roll with. We're gonna roll with Bad Girls Club Real Housewives Edition. There we go. Okay, so to start it off, it goes back to where it ended, where the ladies are on the boat and they're playing Never Have I Ever. And we just learned something we didn't ask for. And that was uh, Portia's friend. Sorry, I forgot her name. She said, Never have I ever done a golden shower. Or had a golden shower done on her. However it was. Never have I ever done a golden shower. And Portia and Sheree, to my surprise, well, maybe not, and Sheree both had to drink up. I was like, uh, okay, so we know how you girls get down. No judgment. Appreciate honesty over anything else. And then, as they were doing that, when that question was asked, that's when Kim was like, "Oh, I oh, sorry about the Kim impersonation voice. Oh, she got up and walked away because I'm not sure if it was fully because of that or if she was just like, you know what, this isn't really my type of conversation. Let me talk with her husband, type of thing. So I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. Not really, but let's go and roll with that. And then after that, Cynthia was like, never have I ever. She was like, had relations, sexual activity in during car driving, and Candy or whoever it was like, no, please, girl, everyone's done that. And I don't remember how many of them were drinking, but at that one, but it was just like, come on, that's not a big deal type of thing. So after that, they pretty much get to the house, and Kim is like the first one off, and uh, Portia is really feeling her guy, and clearly he's feeling her. And so then after that, they all go from the house to the pool, and Candy was just kind of having a quick chit chat with Kim, and so they actually go and decide to sit with each other out by the beach, uh, out by the pool, and because it's like, all right, they're drinking. This isn't really their forte right now. They're gonna turn up and have fun, so whatever. And Cynthia's like, you know what? The last time I did this much drinking, things didn't go well, so I'm gonna go, this way. And so they get by the pool. Everyone's in the pool except for the guys. The guys are still, getting ready to get in the pool. And the women are like, oh, you think they're worried about shrinkage? And they're like, yeah, that must be it. This is just so silly. And so then you have Glenn, which is Tammy's, nephew? Or however it is. Glenn really is. He's on one. Clearly, he's had a hard life. A hard life in the sense that been around some hard ass people, because he just goes from 0 to 100 real quick. And he's the type that you almost can tell that as far as maybe women are concerned, or maybe older women, he's used to them kind of treating him as a child. That's what I feel. I feel like he's used to them treating him as a child, and so because of that, he kind of has this okay, if you're not gonna almost like be Stepford wife-ish to me the first go around, or your energy isn't all the way perfect, then it's just like, rah, rah. It's like, okay. Like, I get it. He's not wrong as far as Candy always has some type of slight attitude. Some slight attitude, but it doesn't justify you borderline getting defensive. I'm not saying angry, but defensive. That's what we're going to say. But anyway, so we move on from that, and then you have, Portia being the queen of Thoughtlandia, which again I can appreciate, just like we talked about last time. And her and her guy, they're getting closer by the pool, and the dude seems cool. He can laugh at himself, which is important. And so Tammy, throughout this whole episode, why is it that every time Tammy's on screen, whenever she goes away and comes back, I don't know if she's the type that she just gets drunk quickly or if it's something else, but she always seems like there's a little bit of extra some going on. It's like, okay. But anyway, so we have the majority of the women and the guys down by the jacuzzi, and Sheree, it's weird. It's like, I feel like the guy was kind of feeling Sheree more than anyone else, because I guess she was just laid back and her energy was right and she wasn't extra. And Sheree pretty much said that she didn't have an issue with him or how he was acting. So maybe it was that. But anyway, so we move on from that. And Kenya this whole time is still kind of figuring the guy out, and the guy isn't feeling her clearly, so she removes herself from the situation. And it's funny because no one really, except for Candy, understands that, the guy is a little on one right now. And so then you have Tammy teetering around. She comes in, it's just like, ah! Her usual drunk, possibly high, allegedly self. And, if Tammy wasn't just so a little extra quirky, she would be cool. Actually, she is cool. Who am I kidding? She's cool. She's fun on camera, so it's all good. And so you have, like, the older, mature bunch with sitting and kind of talking about the guy. And then everyone else kind of gets away from the situation to do their own thing. And so it's like, now it's what's her name, Sheree, by herself with them. And again, Sheree seems very comfortable, but Sheree kind of gives me that, okay, as long as you're not coming at me crazy, we don't have any problems, almost regardless of what's going on. And so Kenya is basically like, this guy has to go. He has to go. I'm not feeling it. And she says that. And so she's like, I'm going to get security. I'm going to get Tammy to get him out of there. The way how she did it put him on the spot. And that's why he felt like he was being joked on. Because he's coming on the show with cameras and everything. And they're coming. It just feels like they're coming at him. So I get the whole concept, but it doesn't excuse the fact of what he did next. Guys, if you didn't watch the show, you need to know that, his, I don't know if it's blood relative or what, but he pretty much was getting amped when he was getting kicked out. And it's like, let me tell you something to Kenya. And Kenya's like, okay, I don't do this physical crap. And Tammy gets in front of him because she's like, okay, no, let's just go. And he pushes her. He goes, and this is basically Tammy on the floor. Literally on the floor. And I'm like, what? Yo. And he did that to her, his relative, or whatever. So imagine what he would have done to Kenya. And I'm like, how am I the only one besides Kenya who gets that concept? I mean, security was on him. You had like 4 or 5 of the biggest guys you'll see in your life on TV on this guy, because they were like, no, this isn't gonna go down. And so everyone's scrambling because Tammy's actually hurt for real. She was knocked out. And so everyone goes to their corners after the what do you call it? What are those things called? The paramedics come to get her and take her to the hospital, and then they're all like telling their own sides, their own versions of the story. And this is where the BS comes in. Because how is it that people think that Kenya was fully at fault? Because my whole thing is, in this situation, how was Kenya and everything that she said the cause of him wanting to potentially physically check her? And Kim was pretty much cheerleading the whole thing where she was like, "Oh, yeah, you did this," and I'm like, basically, we know Kim doesn't get down like that, but she was basically acting that way, and I'm like, okay, Kim, Sheree, Portia, everyone else, I agree with you that Kenya was definitely treating the guy a certain way initially, but then afterwards, it's like they let their whole concept of Kenya and her personality cloud the fact that the guy was extra. He himself was actually the extra one. Like, there's no other way to phrase it. And so, after everything calms down, they have the comedic break where Kenya impersonates Tammy for like the millionth time, and then her towel comes off or she pulls it off, and they're all ha ha ha. And anyway, so Kim feels is like, you know what? I'm going back to my husband. I'm going back to normal life. This is some BS. I don't feel safe. And then, of course, Candy tells Todd what happened. And she's like, Todd's like, get your ass home. That's it. And so she's like, yeah, I'm gonna go. It's like, okay. This is a little serious, Candy, but whatever. And so Candy goes, but before she does, she talks to Kenya and Cynthia, and they actually have a video of Tammy coming back to the house. And the lady's freaking out because Tammy and one of the guys, I don't know if it was both of them or just one. I think they were saying both, but I can't see security even allowing both. But maybe coming because Tammy wanted to get her stuff. And I'm like, this guy just did that and you're still... Okay, that's why Tammy isn't on the show. That's why Tammy is not on the show. And things actually pick up after that because it's like, Candy's gone, and Kim is gone, so they can really do whatever. Everyone's on the same page and are able to participate in everything. And so you have Phaedra having this real moment with Sheree, kind of talking about the whole, how black boys and black men are seen and treated here in America, and they're kind of taking that overprotective black mom stance because they're like, they have to. They have black sons and they see what goes on here in America. Of course, other parts of the world, but they're like, Kenya, she was being the way she is, and how can she go and do all of that, acting like the stereotypical person who sees the black man as just very aggressive and angry and all that stuff. And so that was an interesting take. I'm like, okay, I'm partially following you, but this situation was a little different. But anyway, when they're on the bus together, going to get their little motorized cars, they talk to Tammy and they invite Tammy over. And so, that was a nice gesture because it's like Tammy really didn't do anything. And on another note, Cynthia actually thought that she was trying to take responsibility. It's like, it's partially my fault for bringing Tammy here. And Kenya was like, how is it your fault? You didn't tell them to do that, so how is it your fault? So anyway, while they're driving on the motorized Jeep, Portia basically almost kills everyone, as to be expected. Portia's just trying to have a good time, trying to have fun. And so after that, we get this little montage of Kim and her husband, her kids, and they're having a nice little family day by the park, and it's just so nice. And it was a nice switch up based off all the bad girl club antics that were happening at the house. So, but Kim shouldn't be on this show. Kim should actually have her own little show. That's what Kim really needs. She needs her own little show. And so then we also have uh Portia goes on a date with this guy, and because they're still in Miami, but Portia goes on a date with the guy, and it's just it goes really really well. Goes really well. They definitely have chemistry. There's definitely something there, and so it's like, all right, that's cool. Portia at first was flustered because he was trying to make a move fast, and she got caught off guard, and she was blushing. And clearly, all the leads are getting along really well. They had like a group hug, boob, uh, like a boob hug, a boob group hug. So it's like, okay, that's cool. See them all getting along. This is nice, nice switch up. We'll see how long this lasts. Yeah, and so, oh, I didn't even remember seeing. Yeah, that part doesn't matter. Anywho, we actually have this little part where Kenya goes and sees her, I guess, construction worker guy, and it's like, work harder. Nothing's getting done really. And they're like, yeah, yeah, we got this covered. And she's like, house ain't got no roof. So after that, we see Todd and Candy and Todd's daughter. They're all just hanging out, and of course, she has a little boyfriend, and Candy's just laughing at it, but she's like gonna stay out of it. Todd's like, yeah, 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 you working now, so keep your eye on the prize, type of thing. You're in Atlanta, he's there, and she's like, well, I work at the airport, so I can fly there. I was like, okay. And then the last part is of Kim Fields and what's her name, and Kenya having this sit down discussion, and you can tell that they don't really like each other. They're very different, and it's obvious that they don't get along that well. And so it's just like, Kim was annoying me a bit because I'm like, Kim, this is one time when it really wasn't Kenya's fault, and Kim is just still going at her. And it's just like, we get it. We know how Kenya is most of the time. But this is the one time when I think we can safely say that she didn't do much wrong. Yeah. The guy clearly probably would have been someone that as soon as he had more drinks in the system, if he was even drinking, I don't, yeah, he drinks in the system, that he was gonna overreact to someone. But it was just interesting how his issues were with the women. But then again, the other guys around him weren't really doing anything. They were just going along with it. So, but yeah, they pretty much agree to disagree, and they're both like, you know what, we're strong, both strong, opinionated black women. So, so yeah, that's pretty much the end of the show. Clearly, if you didn't figure it out already, I was looking at the show while doing the review, so that's why I was stuttering a little bit. But next week looks like it's just going to be, a cute, emotional show. We have Cynthia and Peter happy again. We have Phaedra taking Aiden to preschool. I think it's preschool. Aiden's so cute, and he's like, oh, am I still going to be your baby? Ah. Don Juan being turned up. And Don Juan needs to stop fighting Candy's battles. That's what he needs to do, because he's not wrong in what he's saying. But again, he's one of those people that his delivery sucks. And so people don't take it well. They don't take it well. And as a result, he he turns people off just because of how he's saying stuff, not what he's saying. And so, but I do understand, because Candy's pregnant, and why is she around them? Really, why is she around them at this point? Because the show has reached new lows, honestly, as far as some of the behavior as of late in the past 2 seasons. And it's just like, okay, what else are they gonna do at this point? What else can they do? Really? Really? But again, I want to reiterate, I feel like the ladies are, they're not thinking, because in this one occasion, this really wasn't Kenya's fault. This time. We'll give her a pass this time. One pass. We'll see what happens next week, and the week after that, and the week after that. So yeah, thanks for watching my review. Thank you if you actually sat through the whole thing, or if you just had it playing in the background. Definitely suggest that sometimes. That's what I do with a lot of YouTube videos. Again, my name is Romie. Please like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you thought of the episode, if you got a chance to see the episode. If you're still watching The Housewives or not, let me know. Please like the video and leave a comment and subscribe, because leaving a comment means that you're actually interested in what I was saying or the content and period, and liking the video means you want me to do more of them, or you wouldn't be mad if I did more of them. So either way, that'd be cool. And then subscribe, because again, that's something it's free to do, and it lets me know that, alright, there are people who are willing to say, you know what, I may just stick around and periodically watch some videos from this person. And I definitely appreciate that. So again, thank you. Let me go and edit this, and well, you know, I don't edit videos, at least at this point. So let me just go and upload this to YouTube. And again, tell me what you think. Do you think Kenya was on the side of justice, truth, and righteousness this episode? Was Kenya being Kenya, and that's what happens when you act the way she acts? Or was everybody else on one because of past experiences with Kenya? And next week's gonna be, it's gonna be a cool episode, which may mean that it might actually be good, because sometimes when the trailers are just like, then the show's actually good as a whole. What the heck is that? Let me take care of that, and I'll see you next week.